Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key and a Let's Talk. So, we're gonna talk about two things right now. Actually, no, I'm not gonna collect those yet. We're gonna talk about AB3 Max, and we're gonna talk about gonna talk about pulls. First, we're gonna talk a little bit about AB3 Max because a lot of people have asked me to give my opinions about AB3 Max and what I recommend AB3 Max should be put on. Now, if you guys have been watching earlier, I think maybe earlier today or yesterday or previously, I released a video on my opinions of what medals deserve AB3 Max. What skills the World of Final Fantasy medals deserve, and AB3 Max was in there. That's AB2 Max. AB3 Max, okay. AB3 Max is AB3 Max is very interesting. It deals 1.6 times more damage. So AB1 deals 1.2, AB2 deals 1.4, AB3 1.6. AB3 Max guarantees that you will have a 100% trigger rate every single time on that skill. I wasn't expecting this. When they gave us AB3 Max, when they sold us AB3 Max in the Avatar boards and the Terra and Aqua Avatar boards, I was surprised. I was very surprised to see them there. And I did realize it was they went in hand with the current medals we had in the game. More importantly, certain medals in the World of Final Fantasy banner. So this skill right here, I already had an AB3 on one of my World of Final Fantasy medals, and that medal got an AB3 Max just because I needed the guarantee hits for a high score challenge. And that kind of continues, for me to explain what I recommend you to use AB3 Max on. AB3 Max should definitely be used on a very powerful either tier 4 or extremely powerful tier 3 AoE medal. AB3 Max is great. It's really great. But right now we only have two in the game. If you bought both Terra and Aqua, if you bought both the Avatar boards, you have two AB3 Maxes. And it doesn't seem like we're going to get thrown a bunch of these anytime soon. If you guys remember, when we first got AB2 Max, it took almost 2 months before they gave us a few more. We've had lots of AB2 Maxes actually. If I think about it, I think we've had, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have about maybe 12 AB2 Maxes in the game right now, but we've had AB2 Max for quite a while. But that 1.6 multiplier, it will give you quite a powerful boost up if you have a medal that really deserves it. Now, for example, I know some people have said, well, why don't you put it on your strongest single hitter, for example, like Xehanort? Ensuring that Xehanort would hit every single time 350, 400, 450,000 damage every single time would be wonderful. The only problem is that Xehanort is a single attacker. So I don't recommend that you put an AB3 Max on a single attacker just because, again, we only have two AB3 Maxes in the game right now. We don't have many more yet. And also, the skill is, I don't think there's a single hitter right now in the game that deserves it. Unfortunately, I only have one tier 4 Gilted. I have no tier 5 Gilteds. So I don't have any tier 5s at all, actually. So for now, that's the only thing I could recommend, and that's the best thing that I could recommend is if, for example, if you have Marley, if you have Marlufa, if you have Marlufa, I think Marlufa would be a great candidate for AB3 Max. Marlufa is a great candidate for AB2 Max. And we're gonna have to see. We're gonna be getting more of the Organization 13 medals in the future. There's always gonna be new pulls. There's gonna be new high score challenges. So don't be too quick on throwing a medal like this on a skill like this on a metal that you're not 100% sure about. And the final thing I'll say and recommend is these skills, these like top tier skills, you really should save them for metals that you have gilted. I know a lot of people don't have gilted metals, but just keep playing. Just keep playing. There's a lot of events in the game, and even some events like, for example, Meowjesty. Meowjesty deserves AB3. Does Meowjesty deserve AB3 Max? Maybe. If you don't have anything else, if you have HD Aqua, if you get an HD Aqua and you roll an amazing guild or 100 guilds from the very beginning, I would Chippendale that lady. And if I didn't have World of Final Fantasy medals, and if I didn't have a lot of the other medals I have, I think HD Aqua would be a great candidate too, because you're going to get that guaranteed damage. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. But remember though that there's a lot of medals that are going to be conditional, and they're only going to be really powerful against certain other types. So it's really important to take that advantage too. Take that into consideration too, which is honestly why, I mean, the World of Final Fantasy medals are just wonderful. They're really wonderful. But anyway, let's continue talking. So the second topic I want to talk about right now is pulling. And no, before anyone gets too excited, I am not going to be pulling right now. But we currently have the Lunar New Year's deal, which is the Key Art 2. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on the Key Art 2 medal right now. But at the time of me doing this video right now, we will be getting tonight the opportunity. I don't call it opportunity. Square Enix is going to be releasing the next banner, which is Illustrated Sora version B. Illustrated Sora version B is a wonderful medal. Actually, I kind of wish I could have it on screen right now. I should have thought about that before. Anyway, oh, you know what? I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. All right, let's do this here. Let's take a look at this here. Boop, boop. And then we're going to go over here. And we're going to do this and go here. And then we're going to go here. Okay. What's this? Boop. Okay, here. Here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So this is the medal that currently JP has. This is the JP version of the medal. This is for them, it's going to be number 630. For us, it's probably going to be number 601 or 602. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be somewhere there. And it is Sora Illustrated version B. It is. It's a class super rare attack. Well, it's a speed upright. There's the beginning strength and defense. Its skill is called Freeze Arcanum, and it deals 13 extremely powerful hits, raises speed-based strength to 2 tiers for 2 turns, and it is tier 5. Now, the only other medal that I can compare this medal to is going to be Illustrator Riku. And let me show you why I can compare it to Illustrator Riku, because I do have that one. Unfortunately, I only have one. I wish I had a Gilded. Another medal that I wish I had Gilded, which would be amazing. Where are you, Illustrator Riku? You're somewhere up here. You're right. Oh, there you are. Okay. So this is Illustrated Riku, and Illustrated Riku raises speed-based strength by 2 tiers for 1 turn. So this one raises speed-based strength by 2 tiers for 2 turns. Now we are not 100% sure that this is going to be the exact same medal we're going to get. It's very possible that it's not. It's very possible that we're going to get it. It's a very possible we're going to get it in a different iteration or a different form. It's going to be nerfed. Who knows? Chances are it's not, because it's not an extremely broken medal that needs to be nerfed, kind of like the World of Final Fantasy medals were nerfed for us. But it is still a very powerful medal. Now, is it worth pulling for? If you need him to make your Keyblades really awesome, then if you also have the financial capacity to do it, I mean, yeah, go for it. Mind you, it's it's right now we don't even have it out yet. By the time whenever this video gets released, we're not going to have the metal will be out by then, and we'll know exactly what the skills are. But right now, at the time that I'm making this video, we don't know what the metal has yet. We also don't know if the deal is going to be a 5-pull deal or a 10-pull deal, a mercy pull deal. So let's say it's a 5. Let's say it's a 5, and that's going to be $100. So $100 to get one of these. If you want to gilt it, which would be wonderful to gilt illustrated Sora B, you're probably going to have to pull 7 times, and you're not guaranteed a great gilt the first time, but let's say you get a fantastic gilt the first time. So that means if you mercy pull, that's 7 times, so 70 times. 35 times. So that's going to be $700. So $700 to be able to gilt this metal. Now, like I said again, some people have the financial capacity to do that, and that's wonderful. That's awesome. If you're on the wall thinking, okay, I have exactly $700 and I could do this, and you're like, I'm not really sure if I should, because there's a lot of people who just who see the metal and pull to gilt it, and financially they are secure and stable enough where it's not going to affect them. It's going to be, just something they do, and that's great. That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's wonderful that they can do that. For a lot of other people, it might be a point of thinking, okay, is this really the one time I want to do this? And my recommendation is no. It's unless you can gilt this metal, he's not going to radically change your life. He's going to be slightly better than Riku here. He's going to do one turn more in Riku, which is a lot. But if you think about the fact that we have the World of Final Fantasy medals and what they can do, and J and S and other medals too, you have to really just measure out what you have. So I guess in general, this is my recommendation for the tier 5 medals in general. Some tier 5 medals can potentially be amazing. They could be wonderful and incredible. Key Art 1 was amazing. Unfortunately, you had to do a lot to get it. You had to spend a lot of money to be able to get that one, because remember, you had to be able to gilt one of the illustrated Shion or Casual Roxas, or we'll just call him Casual Egg, Illustrated Shion, or HD Axel. You have to be able to gilt one of those to be able to win yourself a Key Art 1. Key Art 1 is wonderful. Key Art 1 is a total game changer, and Key Art 1 is the kind of medal that if you just have one, it will make a big difference to your game. And I think that's the thing that we need to look forward to in polls in the future. Look at the medals that are radically going to change your game. World of Final Fantasy medals. The World of Final Fantasy medals, I was on the wall. I wasn't going to really pull. I was like, okay, am I pulling? Am I not pulling? I pulled that one time. If you guys watched that update video, my very first pull, I was lucky enough to get Lightning 3 Orbed and a Yuna. I got a Tama and a Lightning. Or a Tama and a Yuna. I forget. Anyway, I tested them out. I went and tested them out against several Heartless, and I tested them out against Cerberus and Cloud, and I went to Darkseid even, and Enraged Elk. And I was very, very surprised. And after doing a little more research, that's why, if you guys have been watching my channel and following my videos, I ended up pulling 20 times. I pulled 20 times in that banner. And the medals I got out of it have radically changed my game. And I think that's what we need to look forward into the future. If you are going to do a pull, if you're going to pull during a banner, during an EMC, during a deal, it should definitely be, if you're going to go for the mercy pull in the pull that they're guaranteeing, or the featured medal, I would highly recommend that you focus on going for a medal that is going to radically change your game. And there are very few medals that will radically change your game ungilted. And those are going to be the buffers and debuffers. For example, and I'll say this right now, I know that one day in the future, we will most likely get Illustrated Kyrie 2. Is it Illustrated Kyrie 2 or Illustrated Kyrie version B? Is that what it's called? You know, let me check. Let's see if we can't find her. Sorry, I wrote Kyrie. Kyrie. Kyrie Cage 2 illustrated version. I think this is the one. Illustrated Kyrie 2? Or is it Kyrie Cage 2 illustrated version? Well, that one's amazing, actually. Wow. That was an amazing medal right there. Not the one I was looking for, but wow. Illustrated Kyrie. I don't know where it is. Anyway, there's medals like that. And you know what? I don't really want to show it because, I mean, who knows when we're going to get it or what we're going to get or how we're going to get it. But there are certain medals to look forward to. There are certain medals that are going to make a very big difference in your game. There are certain medals that are going to buff you or debuff the enemy to a certain point that are going to be considered broken. Broken. And also the other thing is, if you guys have noticed how this game progresses, high score challenge medals are very, very important many times. So sometimes maybe it's a good idea to pull, if you're going to pull during the high score challenges to be able to get those medals guilted. I'm going to say it right now, and I've said it before on stream, but I don't think I've ever said it on video. I was very reckless in how I spent money in the first half of this game. I didn't really play seriously. I didn't play to win. I didn't play to be extremely competitive. And then recently, if you guys have noticed, I changed that. I changed how I think about this game. I changed how I approach it. I decided to be much more competitive in this game. I'm not trying to be number one. I'm not trying to be top 10 or even top 100. I'm not. I'm just trying to compete against myself more than anything else. I'm trying to do the very best that I can with what I have. And I will say this, I pulled if you guys want to see a lot of well, they were bad pulls too. If you guys want to see a lot of bad pulls, or if you guys want to see a lot of pulls that weren't very smart or well thought out, go look at all my pulls at the beginning. Many times I just pulled once or twice hoping to get a good medal, and I never did. I didn't do the guaranteed pulls, I think, until Terra. I think Illustrated Terra was my very first one where I went for the guaranteed one. I should have gone for Black Gold Mickey when it first came out. I should have just gone for him right at the beginning. He would have radically changed my game at the first 5 months of the game. Instead of just spending, pull here, pull there, a couple pulls here, a couple pulls there. I wasn't very intelligent in that sense. So I did suffer from it. When you look at the high score challenges, I would pull just a couple of times, just hoping to get the premium medal, but also, or the legendary medal, but also just trying to get some of the tier 3s to be able to level up my, get a better score. I should have done it differently. For the amount of money that I spent, for the amount of medals that I pulled, I should have much better medals. And I could have a lot of the high score challenge reward medals. So that's something to look forward to, or to look towards in the future. If you're going to pull, and again, if you want to pull, that's great. If you don't want to pull, that's also great too. I mean, no one's forcing you to pull. No one should be forcing you to pull, and no one should be forcing you not to pull either. That's your decision. That's your money. Whatever you want to do with your money, that's up to you. I mean, if you want to pull because you like how a medal looks, like right now, the Sora. If you like how Sora looks and you want to pull for it, and you're like, hey, I just care how it looks. I like how it looks, or Sora's my favorite character, or I've been waiting for this medal for a long time. Then more power to you. You do whatever you need to do. And yeah, that's seriously how I feel about that. But if you're asking my opinion on when I should recommend for you to pull, I think I've only recommended once or twice. Even with the World of Final Fantasy medals, I was still kind of like on the edge because I saw people pull 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 times trying to get Sora and never got him. I saw people pull as much as I did and not have a single World of Final Fantasy Gilted medal because they never got an orbed one. They got nothing but single ones over and over and over again. So I don't want to recommend something to you guys if it's not something that I really believe in. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to give you what I recommend. I recommend that if you are going to spend money and if you want to spend money on this game, my recommendation on when to do it is really decide and look towards a medal that's going to really benefit you. And you know what? Listen to the people from JP. If you know, well, there's always people. There's a lot of people who play the JP version, and they know the medals that are really awesome. For example, I'm happy I pulled for Casual Leg. I really am. But I don't use him. I mean, he's got cool music. I don't ever really use him. But I'm sure I'll use him in the future, hopefully. But he's more of a medal that a lot of people in JP recommended me to get who play JP, but they didn't tell me that it was so great because they have him gilted. And there's no way that I'm going to be able to gilt mine anytime soon. You know, it's like the people in JP who say, oh, he's one of the best medals in the game. It's because they have it, you know, they have it gilted. And the amount of people who have them gilted in the global version is very few people. So yeah, so I guess that's the next point of looking at the medals right now and pulling for the medals. We're at a point in our game right now. We're at the power creep has gotten to a certain point where it doesn't really benefit you to pull unless you are able to gilt a medal. And again, there are people out there who are capable of doing that. More power to them. That's awesome. I hope they share with us and show us what their medal can do. But that's what I recommend. I recommend you watch what comes out. If you need a medal, for example, like Illustrated Sora version B, who's coming out tonight, the only thing that would make me change my mind and change what I say right now is if we get an update tonight and they say that if you mercy pull for Illustrated Sora version B, and if you get him on the mercy pull, he will be guaranteed 3 orbed. If they institute orbed pulls, or orb tier 4 pulls, or orbed legendaries, you know, on the mercy pull, or if you pull a legendary, it's guaranteed to be 3 orbed, that will change my mind. That will radically change my mind. And then I would be like for example here, with if tonight was that was the case tonight, that means you'd have to pull 10 times to be able to gilt that medal, and that medal would be very nice gilted. So that's where you have to think about it. You know, there's a lot of different factors that may come in play. So I don't know. I'm hoping the Square Enix will institute that. I've asked that. I've been asking for that for quite a while now. It's at a point in the game right now where it's like they release a banner like tonight. If you guys are watching, I'm probably going to release this video like the day of the update. If you guys are watching this video and they're like, I don't know if I should pull for Illustrated Sora B, let me tell you right now, if you're on the fence because you're like, well, I already have Illustrated Riku, or I don't really need him, if it's released and there's no guarantee of orb tier 4s, don't pull. I'm not going to pull. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it because you can get one of them and it'll be a great medal, and it will really help you in your game, and it'll help you progress in your game. But it's not going to be a game changer. Not being able to gilt these medals going forward is really going to start hurting you. So that's what I recommend. But anyway, that's pretty much what I want to say about that. I want to talk about the AB3 Max skill. I want to talk about tier 5s and when I recommend to pull from now going forward from now on. It's really more about what you need in the game. Don't let anyone tell you what you should be doing. Don't let anyone tell you, hey, now's the time to pull. Pull now, you know. Make up your own mind. look at your own metals, look at your own keyblades. No one knows your game better than you do. And that's the whole point. Look at what you've been doing. You know what you can and can't do with your keyblades and with your metals. So if you think, well, wow, like for example, for me right now, I could really use an illustrated Ansem. If they re-released illustrated Ansem in pulls, I'd be very tempted to try and go for him, because I really need him. He would have made the Zemnis event much easier. He would make Colosseum much easier for me. He would be a metal that I would really want to have in my Keyblades. So if you see a metal come up and you think, well, that metal looks pretty good, but I don't really think I can use him, but everyone's saying I should get him, everyone's saying he's a game changer, he's the best metal out there, maybe I should get him. Do a little bit of research. Look at your metals, look at what the metal can actually do, and again, the umbrella thought over all this is, if you're not able to gilt a metal right now, it's kind of not worth pulling. It's just not worth pulling for a metal if you're not able to gilt it, especially the tier 4s and tier 5s. They are beautiful metals. They are wonderful metals. Unless they radically change your game, like Key Art 1, if Key Art 1 had been pullable, they're not really that crucial. You can get by without them and substitute other metals, unless it's a metal that unless it's a metal that will radically change your game. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. This has been a Let's Talk about the tier 5 metals, about pulling in the future, about AB3 Max and what I recommend for it. And I hope everyone has had a really good day today. Thank you very much for watching. And I was about to pull. No, I'm not going to. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You know what? Even Key Art 2, I remember looking at what Key Art 2 did the first day, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it for me. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.